Low Targar friends, hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for another Orc Mode workout, and today was max effort press day, and that means standing press. But you guys know the rules. Reach down and click like down below, help keep the likes higher than the dislikes before you watch the PR attempt. Reach down there and do that, come on, it's easy enough. Thank you so much. Now, over to the lift. The football bar is humbling, especially even with this narrow grip. I might mess with it with the wide grip too. 205 was hard, okay. 215, I failed it. And people were asking already, what's the difference? Right, what's the difference? Why is this harder than the straight bar? Well, number one, you have to lay further back because the bar is harder to clear your face. This isn't just a little 1-inch bar. The whole cage comes back. And so you end up bleeding a lot of power early on trying to get it around your face. Also, it seems like you need more tricep to lock it. I felt like I was able to grind that 225 press last time in spite of my triceps not quite being strong enough because I was able to just dig in and grind it. They're a weak link, so I straight up failed that 215. But it's challenging. I think I want to mess with it. I want to mess with getting good with this bar, so I'm going to build my press training kind of around it. We might as well. It's very similar to a log press like strongmen do. It's easy on your shoulders anyways. In fact, I felt still a little bit of that discomfort I had from doing the laterals last time, even though I've done a lot of mobility work and soft tissue. And as soon as I started doing the overhead press with that bar, I felt my shoulder crackle. And it crackled and felt like something moved, and the pain completely went away. Yeah, we can interpret that however we want. Now, I went over and did the football bar incline today. And the first set, I felt my shoulder hurt just a hair. And then I adjusted the form on this second set a little bit, and everything was very, very comfortable. Okay, very comfortable. Now, it was awkward for me because I'm doing the widest grip, and I found in order to make it feel really good on my shoulders, and it gave me a hell of a burn in my entire upper half of my chest and my front delts, which is what we want, right? I'm going to go ahead and do some of this incline work on my overhead press day. Why? Because it carries over. Number two, I want some chest work on this day. Yes, I hit a ton of chest work on my bench day. My chest is a weak link in my bench. I need to make sure both my upper body, my pressing days, it does get worked to some extent. It's just going to get worked a lot more on those, and we're going to do a lot more shoulder on press day. But a lot of the fundamentals will stay the same. We're going to do shoulder and chest on both. It's just going to be varied, and we're going to do a ton of tricep work. And I found this worked really well. So what am I doing? Well, you guys notice I bring it low on my chest. I'm tucking very hard at the bottom, and I have my feet out in front of me pulled up super, super tight. And I'm also keeping the scapula fully retracted. And when I do that, it feels great on the shoulders. In fact, as of right now, after finishing this workout, I have no shoulder pain. None. Unlike the laterals that really, really aggravated it last time, it's gone. And shoulder health's the name of the game. That's one reason I'm doing a lot of football bar stuff. It's easy on your shoulders. I need to save my shoulders for my wide grip benching maxes. Everything else needs to be protective. But I started with these only 175 because I normally was doing 185. I think 195 actually for sets of 10 with the incline. And this is a different bar. I've got to get used to it. And I'm doing wider grip, and I'm weaker in the chest in general. I kind of felt they were challenging. I'm like, well, let me go on the last set as many reps as I can. I did these with 10, right? And the first set was hard because I had to get into the groove. Next set, the final set here, I cranked out 15. Now, people would say, how do you get that much stronger through multiple sets? I had to learn the bar path and the learning curve. A lot of times people need several workouts to do that. I did it in one because I'm used to moving and grooving into new exercises. So obviously next time we do this, we're going to jump up to 185. And we're going to see if we can do the same thing. We probably can. I'll probably end up jumping a bunch of reps on the last set, and we'll keep working it up. I mean, ideally, we want to get up over 200 pounds for sets of 10 on this. But it feels really good. I picked this exercise specifically to be easier on the shoulder joint and to really hit my upper chest and interior delt super hard. And it did, and I didn't just feel the upper chest. I felt at least the top half. So we need that, because we need to maximize chest development for my benching. And I also wanted an exercise to make sure I hit the shoulders in a way that will carry over better to the bench. And I've seen some coaches, aka Justin Anderson, chimed in and said, hey, well, overhead press delt strength doesn't always carry over to bench. Well, I think most coaches say it does, but he may have a point. And so I thought I would address that by doing some incline also on the shoulder day. Let's make sure that we get something that carries over. Then we did our axle bar. Now I went a little too narrow on this first set. Felt awkward. I only got about 13 reps. Went wider, which I feel like really hits my triceps harder. I started getting 15 rep sets. Much, much better. Again, yes, I'm aware this is a lot of shoulder work. People are like, man, that's 5 sets of incline, 5 sets of overhead. Yeah, but we're not going to do a third press. So we get a lot of pressing in here, a lot of delt. And remember, the standing press, of course, works other heads of the delt, not just the interior delt. Works the traps, all that other stuff. Okay. Incline is arguably a better front delt exercise if we wanted to really be honest about it. This works a little more shoulder than just that. Works the whole shoulder girdle. Still interior dominant though. But with that axle bar, I feel like I get more tricep. And a lot of people have noted that over the years with the axle bar. And I need the tricep. I need that for my overhead press and possibly even for my bench at this point. Yeah, the pecs are the weak link, but I'm always slow on that lockout. Weak on that lockout on the wide grip, even though I feel nothing but chest, and we know it's chest. So we need to maximize triceps also, which we're doing. That's why we finish off with 5 sets of triceps on every press day. It's a different exercise for each day, but we're doing a lot of tricep volume to finish. But yeah, these were good. These were good today too. Again, felt a lot of deep burn in my shoulders, and that's what we need. We need to get this training volume in through a couple of different angles. I feel like incline and overhead press together can be my winning ticket. It's going to build my whole shoulder girdle up. It's going to help me get that strict press up, which in turn, will translate to bench, but we also should be good at strict pressing. But I really want to master that football bar, because I noticed the football bar doesn't feel harder when I was doing sets of 10 before. I could do similar weights. But man, when I go to a max, the energy you bleed is so much different. So I want to get that up, and I feel like if the football bar goes up, my normal press will go up. Definitely go up. But again, these were good. And these were a little harder today because I did this first. Last time I just hit a max press and went straight to these. But the incline did fatigue me slightly because only one set was really, I guess, anything near a limit set. The others were me kind of getting in the groove. And like I said, we'll increase it quickly. These didn't fatigue me as much, so I was still able to get multiple sets of 15 like I was last time. It just felt like on the first set I couldn't get as many, but I was also going a little narrower. But that's the beauty of this axle bar. There's no marking, so you kind of got to just grip where you grip. And it tends to be a little different every set no matter what you do. You get some exercise variation, which makes it interesting. It helps you just get all around strong. Then we did face pulls. So people are like, what are you going to do to replace the laterals? Well, face pulls. Because that overhead press is helping with the whole delt. Band face pulls in the studies we have, we know this is one of the best rear delt exercises ever invented. It seems to hit the side delts tremendously hard. Now people argue about that, but the EMG data is pretty strong. And I'm going to do a lot of volume with it. I'm going to do some of these most days a little bit, but definitely shoulder days I'm going to come in and do 5 full sets pretty much to failure. Now, some people are going to question, why are you doing them that way? Well, this is the correct way to do them. I'm not doing them with the band on the side of my thumb, right? It's pointed, it's at the downward end, right? So that's the way I'm holding it. And then you pull up above your head. Pull up above your head. And again, doing them to failure. I'm doing the first 20 or 30 reps on some of these pretty quick, and then as I start to get fatigued, because I don't want to stand there and pause on every rep. I want to wait till it gets hard. Just like we talk about a lot of times doing your final reps on an incline or a close grip or something paused, right? You just touch and go. Once we start building some real fatigue, then I focus on pausing like the last 9, 10, 12 reps just to get that squeeze, pull the scapula together, right? Because this is a tremendous upper back exercise. So we kind of come over to, I'm doing a lot of Pendlay rows. We start adding in a lot of face pulls. It's going to keep building my upper back. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, do you need more upper back? You can never have too much upper back as a strength athlete. There is no such thing. It helps with all of the big four. Having a bigger upper back, and that includes traps, rear delts, all of that, rhomboids, all of your big four. For those who don't know what the fourth would be, it would be the press. So squat, bench, deadlift, press. Okay. Having a bigger upper back potentially helps every single one of those lifts. All right. You can't get it big enough. So this is fine. It's going to be a lot of upper back volume. And notice none of it's heavy stuff. It's all ultra high rep because I just care about volume at this point there. I don't need to improve the 1 rep max capability of that. That gets done if it carries over, whichever parts of those muscles carry over to the big lifts, as any form of mover are already being hit for those. So don't worry about it. It's just straight volume. I don't care about doing 5s, 6s, 8s. Nope. So my rows are like 15s. My face pulls are all 30 plus. It's fine. Hammer that volume. And you know what? Made my shoulders feel great. So we're actually going to use a prehab exercise to build. I need to keep my shoulders healthy. It's what we have to do moving forward. It's a top priority. I'm not a spring chicken, guys. I'm 43 with big lifting goals this year. What are my goals? 600 raw squat, 375 bench, 650 deadlift. I'm 43 years old. I've got to pay attention to longevity. We've got to pay attention to connective tissue. We've got to pay attention to our shoulders, our low back. It's one reason I bought the reverse hyper. And it's here. I've been using it, by the way. And it's awesome. Very happy with that purchase. Right? We have to keep getting stronger, doing it injury-free. And so if face pulls become my main non-pressing delt exercise, then so be it. Great prehab exercise. Then we did our 5 sets of tricep press downs to failure. Why? Because we need triceps. And I have a video coming. It'll be probably a few weeks, as I've already recorded it, explaining how stuff like this helps with connective tissue. But for those who don't understand, I have another tricep exercise now I do on bench day that's probably, arguably, a better hypertrophy exercise, even though these should, in theory, build your triceps too. All 3 heads get worked. But a lot of this really is training work capacity. It is building connective tissue, building capillary beds. And again, it has to do with the overspeed eccentrics, right? Because there's a stretch reflex and an overspeed eccentric involved with this once you start going fast, which after about the first set, I speeded up. And the whole idea there is that it causes microtraumas in the tendons. It creates adaptive stress that thickens them up, right? This helps with tendon health. And if we get thicker tendons in our triceps, just like our biceps, like we do to make sure we don't tear it on a deadlift, we help protect our elbows from heavy pressing, from tendon issues, tendinitis. Okay. Totally worth it. And at the end of the day, really, really high volume work based upon the data we have can still stimulate pretty good muscle growth. But we're doing heavy stuff too, and that's the point that needs to be brought home here. It's not like I don't do really heavy pressing. I do a max of some sort of bench or overhead press every other day. We're getting heavy work, and then we do all the 10s on other stuff. Okay, we're just hitting another rep range with this. Hitting another rep range to hopefully hit another growth pathway for a muscle that's a potential weak link. And I might even start doing some of the band stuff like this for my pecs on flies instead of chains if I have to. Again, build the tendons. Build the work capacity. Keep moving forward. Leave no tool off the table. And that's the point. That's what people have to remember with what I'm doing these days. Leaving no tool off the table that could help me. I'm not going to be dogmatic. I only care about being as strong as possible without getting hurt, and I'll do whatever it takes to get there. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.